Welcome to the Vegas Insider channel here on YouTube as we break down a pair of game threes in the NBA playoffs on Friday night inside the Eastern Conference. Kevin Rogers with you, and let's begin in Atlanta between the Heat and the Hawks. Miami up 2-0 after taking the first two games at home. The Heat blew out the Hawks in game one, then held off Atlanta 115-105 in game two. On Tuesday night, Jimmy Butler exploding for 45 points for Miami. Trae Young with 25 points for Atlanta, as he hit only one field goal in the game one loss, but Young had 10 turnovers in the game two defeat. So the Hawks looking to turn things around at home, where at times they were up and down during the playoffs last year in their run to the Eastern Conference Finals. A lot more success, it seemed like, on the road than at home. But the Hawks here, in their two regular season meetings with Miami at State Farm Arena, they closed as favorites, now getting some points here. For my best bet in this game, I'm going to take the points of the Atlanta Hawks. I think that Atlanta comes back here in game three after the two losses to the Heat. Jimmy Butler likely won't score 45 points again, and we'll see if the Hawks can get some help besides Trae Young. Bogdan Bogdanovic had a huge game in game two for Atlanta off the bench, but still, let's see who else can step up for the Hawks. You know, Trae Young will probably have a good game at home. Best bet number one, taking the Atlanta Hawks and the points coming up against Miami. Now shifting over to our second game, the Bulls and the Bucks. They go from Milwaukee to Chicago on Friday night, and the Bulls back in the series now, 114-110 win over Milwaukee. And Chicago got the big game from DeMar DeRozan. He struggled in game one, had 16 of 31 shots he made in game two for 41 points. You had four starters in double figures for the Bulls. Obviously, the bad news for Milwaukee, Chris Middleton done for a little bit with an MCL sprain. Giannis Antetokounmpo, 33 points and 18 rebounds in the defeat. But it felt like Chicago was down that whole game, or Milwaukee rather was down the whole game and just couldn't get over the hump. And the Bulls now even things up at one going back home. But now you go from Milwaukee being a 10-point favorite in each of the first two games to now laying around a basket in game three, even with Middleton out. I do think that Milwaukee rebounds here. It's going to be a public play, but we saw with Philadelphia in game three against Toronto, Joel Embiid hit that late three-pointer, and Philadelphia never led in that game, but they covered at the end on that three. And I think the same thing happens here. Not necessarily goes to overtime, but that Milwaukee will cover game three on the road. They will bounce back and take a 2-1 series lead. So for my best bet between the Bucks and the Bulls, I'm going to take Milwaukee, lay the short number with them. They're already 5-1 against Chicago this year, and the shortest number the Bucks are laying in any game against the Bulls. So we'll go with Milwaukee in game three at the United Center. So to recap my two best bets on Friday night, I'm going to take the points of the Atlanta Hawks against Miami and then lay the points with Milwaukee on the road at Chicago. Don't forget to check out more of our NBA playoff best bets next week as the first round continues. I am Kevin Rogers. Thanks a lot for watching, and as always, best of luck with your bets.